My name is Zac Streelman. I'm the IT Operations Manager at Leupold and Stevens, and we're located outside of Portland, Oregon. My job really encompasses all of IT infrastructure, everything from help desk to endpoint computing to server-side and data center infrastructure and security. Our company is located in Beaverton, Oregon. That's where our headquarters is, and we're manufacturing our products. Everything is made in the US, and we make rifle scopes for the hunting and outdoor activities market. We also have some business in the military and technical fields, and in golf, and in several other optics-driven categories, binoculars, for example. But primarily, our manufacturing processes are what our data center supports. That's what we're there to support, and so if that's not running, then we're in real trouble, and we need to make sure that that's working right. Well, we're kind of a rarity. We're a US-based manufacturing company. We make our product here in the United States. It's all made in Oregon, and it's very important to us to continue to do that. If we don't have our data center running, none of those processes are happening. And we're not making product that people are buying. We're not able to sell it to our consumers, and we're not able to make any money. And that's really, at the end of the day, that's what we're in business for. So it's really important to us to be able to make sure our data center is up and functional. Well, primarily the challenge that we faced was trying to find an expedient way to replicate our live production environment to a secondary facility for disaster recovery. There's lots of technologies that we were employing, such as array-based replication, but nothing that really gave us the full-fledged testing capability and failover capability to very low RPOs that Zerto did. Well, I think for us specifically, the challenge we ran into was how do you very simply roll back individual VM instances. It's very difficult to do that with array-based replication, and certainly there are some tools out there that make that easier, but it still requires a lot of manual intervention. And for us, Zerto didn't have that constraint. We were just able to individually choose. We want to replicate these VMs, we can spin them up on the other side, we can test that non-disruptively. It was very easy to look at that and say, we don't need to rely on array-based replication. Beyond that, I didn't like, from a business standpoint, having to be tied to a single storage provider for replication needs. I don't want to have the same thing on two ends necessarily. I want to be able to replicate, agnostically. So Zerto gives us that functionality where we don't have to rely on what the vendor is anymore. I love the VMware integration. Obviously, that's a huge piece of what we do. We're 95% plus virtualized, so that was a huge component of what we were looking for. The ease of use, the setup times, low administrative cost. We have a pretty small team, so a lot of people wear multiple hats. Those were really the key factors for me. Well, from a simplicity standpoint, just the setup itself was amazingly easy. I mean, we were in production within a day from the time we first downloaded it. So it was very, very simple to set up, and it was very easy to understand what we were doing. We have since added multiple virtual protection groups. We've added different servers, new hosts. All of that we've been able to do without any type of interruption in our disaster recovery plan at all. So it's been really efficient in that regard. And that's kind of the thing that array-based replication didn't really give us. It was very specific to volume levels or LUN levels, and we just didn't have the flexibility at the individual VMs that we wanted. Oracle presents its own unique set of challenges. Certainly when you talk about replication, you talk about what Oracle requires of companies on the DR side as far as licensing goes. The key factor with Zerto is that we're actually able to hold those machines kind of in stasis as they're replicating, and they don't actually exist until we have a DR event that we need to spin them up. And for that reason, we're actually compliant with what Oracle's licensing is, and so for that it was amazingly successful. Well, we're at an RPO of about 7 seconds right now across our environment, including our Oracle VMs. So things are really, really efficient. Before, we went down from using array-based replication, we went from having RPO of about 24 hours down to where we are now at 7 seconds. So All in all, I'd say it's a fairly successful implementation. The virtual protection groups are huge. It lets us do tiering of our critical applications for disaster recovery. So we can say these are top priority machines, these are lower priority machines, everything needs to be protected, but they don't all need to be protected to the same degree. That's huge. The ability to restore virtual machines no matter what volume or what workload group they happen to live on our storage. That's huge because traditionally storage-based or array-based replication requires you to recover the entire volume. I don't necessarily need to do that, especially with some of the volume changes that are coming out with the new storage arrays and flash and things of that nature. So having that capability to be able to specify virtual protection groups, restore individual machines very granularly, that's a huge advantage for us over array-based replication. When I first arrived at Leupold, there was a 4-year-old disaster recovery plan that had been tested once at its initial implementation. We're now testing regularly during the year. We're able to see in real time what our disaster recovery metrics are, which makes our executives very happy. They know that their data is protected, and it's a huge responsibility that they've entrusted to us. We are trusted with keeping the data safe. And that's not something that I take lightly, so I'm really glad that we have the tool in place to do it. When we chose Zerto, we were really evaluating SRM and Zerto as the two products that we were going to go with. And really the thing that drove the point home for us was the ability to non-disruptively test a disaster scenario. That was huge for us. Because like I said, we have a very small staff, a lot of people wearing multiple hats, and I can't just have one or a team of people assigned to DR. It's everybody kind of has to pitch in. So it's really important for us to have that functionality. I would say it's among the easiest implementations I've ever encountered. The engineers that we had assigned to us were fantastic. We had the whole system up and running and ready for production within a day. The evaluation period was very easy to make a determination on what direction we wanted to go. We had complete access to support, which was huge. And honestly, the support experience we've had has been exemplary. It really has. So yeah, I would say it's a very easy process. For me, the biggest factor with the Zerto tool is its simplicity and its ease of use. We are protecting about 200 virtual machines with an RPO of about 7 seconds on all of them across the board. I only have to have one admin who's assigned to manage that. It's incredibly easy to use. The interface is incredibly intuitive. It's very easy to see what's going on, how it's all working, what your replication stats are, and it really is about the best thing I've seen in the market for virtual replication. Would I recommend Zerto to others? I would absolutely recommend Zerto. In fact, I have done so around the Portland tech community several times. It has been an absolute lifesaver for us. It's been an absolute godsend in our environment, and it's been a really good experience.